everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Call. How are you guys doing? Thanks for taking the time and joining this webinar. Very excited to go through this webinar with you. And actually, we're gonna do a lot of Q&A today because if you go to the community tab, if you're new guys, make sure to understand the different tabs we have: community, classroom, calendar, members, map, leaderboard, and about. Help you differently. So you watch your classes in the classroom, you attend the weekly calls on calendar, you find other members on members map. You can find members by their location. Leaderboard is the most important. It keeps you active. When you click on your profile picture, you can see your activity chart, and that is actually very important KPI in this community because that will help you to understand how active you've been. The greener, the better. So make sure to leverage that system. And as you can see, I've been very active since September, which I created this community, and the more is coming. So for today's session, you go to the community. You can also filter by wins, member Q&A, and job challenge. Everything regarding the job challenge will be here. If you have a win, share it in the small win. And if you have a question, post it in member Q&A. For these calls, you need to go to the first pin post, which is here, and follow the template to ask your questions. This is how we go about answering questions in these calls. And let's get to it. Okay, first person, Mina. Mina said, just a second, guys. Do you hear me well? Perfect. Let me open the chat as well. If there's anything. Okay. Mina said, how can I open my video and mic? Okay, Mina, let me read your answer because we get a lot of questions. Usually in these calls, we don't allow access to mic and video because it will be too uh, crazy if we do that. So in the mastermind, that is where people, because we have like, instead of 4,000 people, we have 100 people and we can help them better. So in the mastermind, this is where we get on a call with people and everybody knows everybody. But I will give you the mic access after I read my questions if you have a follow-up question. So Mina said, I studied biomedical engineering in Iran and then MBA in Vancouver. In Iran, I worked as a medical sales rep, application specialist, but I couldn't find a job related to my background here in Canada. Now I'm working with my husband who is self-employed right now, but I want to apply again. My desired situation, territory manager in medical company. Abid is my dream company. My question, after getting interviewed, how can I present myself, how to answer the question in interview, how to boost my self-confidence? Okay, so from what you wrote, if let me give you mic access as well. Where are you? Nina, allow audio. Okay, if you can come off mute if you have any questions. So from what I see, you are saying you're getting a lot of interviews, right? After getting interviews, so my expectation is you. And by a lot of interviews, the average number of interviews our mastermind people get is 5 interviews per week. So you do 16 days of video, you do a lot of tasks, and then after 30 days, you start seeing the result of what you built because we give you a system, and you need to get 5 interviews per week. So that's your first KPI you need to know. If you don't get 5 interviews per week, you're not getting interviews. Okay. So let's say you're getting that. So after getting interview, how can I present myself? How to answer question? This is not something that you can fix with an advice or with an article or with a one video. We do have videos, extensive videos on uh, interview identity shift where we teach you everything. But the main reason to be able to increase your confidence and be able to answer the questions in the interview is to practice. And we didn't leave you alone because we know you cannot practice on your own. That's why we have something called Alex Masters. In the mastermind, members right now, there are actually 3 sessions this week happening, but usually we have 1 session per week where students get together. We have a system. You need to follow our system because that system will teach you how to present yourself and how to get evaluated live by other members and myself. So you learn how to do the talk and then how to evaluate yourself on the talk. And the more you do that, the more you increase your self confidence, the more you can answer questions in the interview, and the more you can present yourself better, your story, because everybody needs to have a story in this community. You started from day zero task B, so most of you have done day zero task B. You understand what I'm talking about. You need to be able to tell your story in a way we want you, because that is the first foundation part. That is the foundation of everything that we teach here. You need to understand your goals, you need to understand your obstacles, you need to understand your wins, you need to understand where you come from and where you're going. If you don't understand that, you need to first work on that. And a lot of people I know, they have problems with the career selection. That is also resolved in this community by ChatGPT course and then resume course, because we teach you how to turn ChatGPT to a 24/7 coach that get fed with your data live and with your past data and with the industry data, the 3 data points. You feed it to ChatGPT, and then it can help you with your career dreams and career goals. So, uh, if I want to answer your question in one line, you need to go through a transformation. And the transformation, guys, again, that's why we have an app for it. The app will help you stay consistent to do the task, because doing this task is just easy. If it was supposed to be easy, everybody was be able to like get these jobs that we're talking about. Only people who go through the transformation get these jobs. And transformation happens through what? One, daily activity, daily daily task. Like, you have to do the task so you see the result on LinkedIn, because the things that we teach you, you have to go apply it on LinkedIn. Even from the 7 days challenge, you need to take action. And then once you take action, you start getting questions. Question will pop up. There's responses. There's this. There's that. And you need to learn how to come back, how to uh, answer the objections, how to go about different things that can happen in the way. Because if you look at everything, the branding is connected to your presence, connected to your answers, connected to your story, connected to the way you apply, the way you follow up with people, the way you network, the way you introduce yourself. So everything is super connected. And the system that we were talking about is you need to create that system and then keep repeating. How do you stay motivated? By repeating it. Weekly calls. Our weekly calls, which we never miss, on Thursday, you come up with your video. You have to have your presence. You ask questions. You get to know other members. You see other members winning. That is alone, it's another motivation. So you get notification from the app. You get emails. You get weekly calls. You get other members access and stories, and you get access to talk to them. And people team up. Actually, right now as I'm talking to you, there is an interview session happening in the mastermind that one of their members who went out and got a $200,000 job in Los Angeles, she is talking about her experience in the field right now. So now our community is transforming to a way that people, not only they have amazing jobs, but they come back and talk about the current challenges in the organization, and we find solutions for that. It's amazing, right? So to your question, you need to work harder. So I see you're level 3 and looks like you're new in the community. You have to give it time. You have to give it time and go through all the content, all the tasks, and the confidence will happen organically. Even if you want to like speed up that process, I highly recommend you joining the mastermind, but you get what you need in the free community as well. Perfect. Sanaz, so you didn't want to come off mute, like I gave you audio access. If you have any follow-up question, I'll wait for you if you want to speak for a second, but you have the audio access, I believe. Are you good? Should we move on? Yeah? Okay, cool. Sana said, my current situation is that I lost my role. Guys, do you still, somebody said my voice is cracking. Do you still hear me well, or do you still hear me wobbly? Please write in the chat. I don't get it. We hear you okay? It's fine. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for confirmation. So, Sana said, my current situation is that I lost my role as CIO due to org restructure. Great. My desired situation, how long you been in that CIO role, Sanas? Can you put it in the chat? My desired situation is to find an opportunity in the same field and level. Therefore, my question is, if this community can help in this process, lift me up as needed, hold me accountable when I'm too tired, and keep me sane when I'm at the end of my rope, and truly teach me and give me tools I need to get. Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, you want to see if this community is lifting you up or keeping you accountable. That is exactly why we created this app and community. Like, we didn't create this app, Sam Alvin did, but we're using it. So this community's goal, the main goal, is to keep people accountable. But you need a few pillars in order to build your career. Like, we're not just talking about the next job. We're looking about designing a lifestyle so you never look for a job again. And the system that I give you, which you need to work hard to build, guys, it's not because I get a lot of people like yourself who have been in the industry, who have had jobs for a long time. You said 2 years, but probably we're expecting more, and probably you've been in the same position before that. That's why you can be a CIO. But the idea is, a lot of people have been, there you go, 20 years of industry. So a lot of people have been doing the same thing in the same job for a long time. They're not really familiar with the techniques you need to do for the next role. You've been so too much in your comfort zone, you didn't even have to do that. And believe it or not, it's a lot of set of skills, as like different, totally different from CIO, CEO, whatever you've been before. These are new skill set that you need to learn in order to land the next job. And the higher the rank in the organization, like the C level, the more networking is required to get the next job. So your job is not coming from application. Your job coming from knowing people in the industry and talking to them constantly. So how the community works, our community give you daily motivation. As you can see, notifications, emails, other members win, other members following up on each other. People become accountable. People read. That's why we have day zero task B, guys. It's very, very important. I cannot emphasize how important day zero task B is, because you write your story, other people read your story, and they resonate with you. You become friends just like that. You don't know how many people became friends just because a good introduction in the day zero task. So if you don't do that right, you don't get a lot further in this community, because our community foundation is based on the community and how people know each other and how you brand yourself, right? So that's the first thing. Then, especially in mastermind, we have more intimate group that people just on talk to each other on a, I don't even say daily basis, on an hourly basis. So people are super motivated and invested in their next career goal, that they are on an hourly basis in touch, and that is alone is a motivation. And then we have weekly calls that people know each other, they're accountable, they know that they need to get this done. But and then we have a activity chart, guys. Click on your picture, profile picture, see your activity chart. You always, in this community, you always compare yourself with your previous self, with your last week, with your last month. And that is how you know if you've been on the track or not. So again, to your question, this community is the perfect and only place that you not only get insiders for the job, not only you learn HR secrets, you learn a lot of HR, guys. That's why you go, that's why I say it's a new set of skills. And you're a CIO now. You become a recruiter. While you're looking for jobs, we teach you to become a recruiter, because you learn everything that recruiters know. Because I've been teaching recruiters how to hire. Now I'm teaching you how to pass those recruiters' questions. So exactly, this is exactly the place that you need to be if you feel demotivated. I also see you said this is not something I ever had to focus on. I was tapped The shoulder before this is the first time in 6 years. Exactly. Yes, I know. This is actually not your problem only. It's a lot of people problem. A lot of people have been staying in the jobs and then got laid off because of reorg or whatever, and they don't know the way that they got jobs 10 years ago, guys, is not working today. Today is way more competitive, way more on IT, on online and technology you need to use to. And now we're teaching you how to do networking with technology, which is probably you're good at networking in person, but now you need to learn how to do networking with technology. So these are all the new uncertainties that is added to the job market that you need to learn. And guess what? You need a community that keeps adding fuel to your fire, right? This community keeps adding fuel to your fire. That's why we are a group of motivated individuals going toward that goal. My goal is to help now more than 10,000 people get jobs, and your goal is to design your next career opportunity and go get it. So we are here talking, guys. I want to make this very clear to most of you. This community is not about getting a job, is about designing a lifestyle and a job that can support it. A lot of you are over 100K. A lot of you are over 200K. The way that we design the system, we don't get people, like we don't get random people in this community. And if you feel like somebody is not a fit, we'll let them go. So this community is full of immigrant professionals. That's the only, because when you immigrated, you had a lifestyle in your head. Maybe you forgot that, maybe you got away from it, whatever. This community will help you because I went through the same process. I always wanted to design my career. So, and I solved it. So you guys, the same thing. This community is for all of us. Even me, I'm going after my dreams, and all those people are watching me. Like if you go back, like we have started September, and I've been a lot of decisions were made with me and my members, my founding members, my people who joined me earlier, and it's still early, right? People are joining, so everybody joining, they have a share in how we are building this community moving forward. This community is a combination of all of peoples, all of immigrants, professional immigrants, career designing. So everybody design their career from now. Maybe Sana's don't haven't got a chance because she was too busy, haven't got a chance to design a career she loved and she enjoyed. And this is your moment, guys, because now for most of you, when you get laid off, it's a perfect opportunity to sit down and reflect, to sit down and really understand where you want to go, what you want to do with your life, what kind of job you want to do that keeps you happy. Because if you end up getting a 200 300K job but you're not happy in it, you might as well lose it or get laid off or just quit after a while, right? So use this if you're a job seeker, if you're a full-time job seeker, this is your golden opportunity, because we are giving you a lot of insiders and energy and hope and community. Imagine that you were laid off and you didn't have access to these golden opportunities, golden insiders. Where do you want to go? You probably could have found another next job after a while, and probably you weren't happy in that job, and then probably you keep thinking that what if. But now this is a great opportunity for most of you to design a career you would love, because with the techniques I give you, you can definitely get any job you want in your field. We teach you pure branding, pure networking, pure outreach. And through the system that we give you, the job would not be a problem for you anymore. What to do would be a problem that you need to solve for. You don't solve for a job, you solve for a position. You understand? Yeah, but to your question, Sanas, this community will change your life. I see your level 2, so you're probably new. This community will change your mindset and life guaranteed. Shima, current situation. Oh, day one is too early. Too early. Just give it 7 days, then we talk. Okay. And you're not even in mastermind. Like pre-community is one probably 30 times more you get in mastermind, but you need to go through this. You have to. Everybody who joins mastermind, I expect you to be here for 1 week. If you're here for 1 week and you do, and I see your chart green, 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 then we can talk. Because before that, I don't see us as a good fit. If you cannot stay consistent in the free community for 7 days, guys, you will not stay consistent in a mastermind to get the things that we want you to. Because it's a money game, right? You come here to get a job and get money. It's a money game, and you know that. And the money game, if you have a little bit of investment mindset, you understand that for money game, you put money, you get money. Easy. But the number is how much I put down and how do I get in return. So depending on people who wants to go after 100K or 200K or 300K or 500K, the investment should be different. But the investment is out of the question, is out of the table until you become the master here, right? Which is possible, totally possible. Like look at Shima, she's level 5, and let's look at her question. So for a few months, I've been in touch with the CEO of a well-known company headquartered in Canada with operation in US, and I've completed several interviews with him and his team. They said I was a top candidate, but the role is now hold due to budget. I emailed last week to CEO and assistant but haven't received response. Desired situation. I want to know whether I should continue following up and how to handle the situation without being too pushy while still keeping the opportunity open. Question. Should I keep following up, wait longer, or assume the opportunity is no longer active? Also, is there a better way to address the budget constraint in the follow-up, like asking what would need to change for the role to move forward? Okay, so good question, because if you've been in touch with the CEO, that means you have a very good leverage there. And depending on the depths of your relationship, I would advise to make a decision. But if they come back to you and say, hey, this is on hold due to budget, you can't do anything. Like, don't try to push them to add the budget because it's out of their hand, guys. When the budget is on hold, that means like you can't do anything, just wait. And the best question to ask in this situation is that, okay, when should I follow up to see if there's any change? Because nobody, even when the budget is hold, nobody even knows when they're gonna add the budget back. Okay, because the decision not just come from HR, the decision come from a lot of different departments, and that they decide that, and at the end of the day, the CEO will sign it off to hold everything. So you're not in a position to follow up. This is just looking bad on you. You don't have to. The only follow up is that when should I follow up? When do you think I should? And guess what? Don't get stuck too much in that opportunity, because getting stuck in one opportunity is uh, stopping you from accessing to the new opportunities. This is exactly what I teach in my mastermind. You guys need to work and scale, like 1, 2, 3 interviews. Don't give me that. Like, I don't give a damn about 5 interviews. Like, 5 interviews is nothing. It's not even a time to practice. You don't even get to practice enough with less than 10 interviews. You need to have 5 interviews per week. Then we can have a conversation, because before that you're not a job seeker, experienced job seeker. I don't even call you an experienced job seeker if you haven't gone to enough interviews, and enough interviews means 5 interviews per week, right? It's easy to say, go read reviews. Sean says, how? It's easy to say. Okay, I don't say this. Go watch. When you go to classroom, guys, we have a win section, and we interview people. And actually, there's so more. We haven't got a chance to interview all of them. But watch interviews. Don't listen to me. Listen to people, because this is system. It says how. Okay, I cannot tell you how in 2 minutes. That's why we have 16 days of 2 hours. We have more than 30 hours of content and daily tasks that you need to go through. And pending you do all of the tasks that I teach you, you go a step by step in every little things that I teach you. You'll be able to build a system, because it's a system. You cannot achieve that without a system. Once you have a system, you get 5 interviews per week, and everybody got it. Like, everybody go talk, watch the videos, go talk to winners in the mastermind. We have 100 people there. The only way to get that is to go through a transformation. The things that I'm teaching you guys come from more than 10 years of experience in HR, plus experience in sales and marketing and branding, and seeing Fortune 500 data for long enough, so and being able to teach it perfectly, so people get a step-by-step blueprint to build a system. And once you have that system, not only it brings you job for now, it brings you job forever. It brings you job for the rest of your career, because it will, you position yourself, you now you have a brand. That brand will bring you recruiters for the rest of your career, and you also learn how to outreach, right? This is what we talk about in CCM. CCM is all about outreach. You learn pure sales. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you can apply the same methods. But now, in your position as a job hunter, you are going to learn how to do sales and marketing for yourself, with your own brand, because you're selling yourself through your resume, right? We teach you different methods to sell yourself without going through your resume, because your resume is the last thing we want to sell. Your resume doesn't talk. Your resume doesn't have that capabilities, right? So there you go. And for Shima, I believe for budget constraint, you cannot do it too much. You can uh, follow up once in a while. Make sure they're on board with the way you follow up, so you don't sound too pushy or too desperate. Stay professional, but yeah, like don't even think about that job, because again, a lot of our members who secure a job offer, they still go to interviews. Guess what? In, maybe the Abbott team will accept you. Was it Abbott or somebody else? I don't know. Maybe this company, the CEO of this company accepts you and they hire you, whatever. You go start the job, you don't like the CEO or your manager. Maybe you start the job, you don't like the ambience. Maybe you don't like your job. Then what? You have to change it, right? And you get stuck again. We want to have unlimited opportunities, and the system that you have, the system will make you happen. And the system only comes if you do the task for the 16 days and attend all the weekly calls to get live feedback. Because again, guys, this community works on the feedback. Everything that I built here, I do it based on the customer data. Like, I have an AI installed on this community. The AI reads your question all the time and feed it back to me, and I ask questions from it, and I understand your pain points, your biggest. That's how we build courses, guys. We don't randomly build courses here. Every course is a follow-up solution to the problem that you most of our members currently have. So most of these videos that I'm giving you and the task will solve probably 70% of your problem. And the other 30% is unique to a certain category of people. So how we solve that? We read. That's why we ask you to write, because AI is vigilant on your stuff. AI is vigilant on your problems. And we keep learning about your problems, and we keep coming up with the solutions to your problems. So make sure to document your journey as you follow on with our system. And thank you for question, Shima. Let me move on. There are more questions here. We usually have this call for 30 minutes, but I would like to go over all the questions today. So I'm going to stay on a little bit more. Nahid said, good morning, Alex. My current situation is working as quality analyst. I'm not satisfied with my salary. The moment you said analyst, Nahid, I knew that you were not satisfied with your salary, because the lowest salary, guys, goes to analysts. That's why I always say, if you're a senior, don't go for analyst roles, okay? Because analyst, just the word analyst in the HR chart is the lowest salary. So my desired situation, I'm looking for a job as research data or statistical analyst. See your problem? I just tell you the problem. It's not the research or data statistical. Your problem is using the word analyst in your job search. My question, if my CV shows my age, it might affect it. Who puts the age on a CV? You shouldn't. Nobody puts an age on a CV. My studies in statistics was in around 20 years ago. I believe companies prefer to hire younger employees. Nobody needs to understand your age from your resume. So, and from your profile picture, I don't even think you are Uh, you look 20 something to me, but honestly, that you're perfectly fine. Come on, like don't even think about these things. Like I know people with 40 years of experience getting jobs. So I believe companies prefer to hire younger. No, these are your own assumptions. Companies don't give a damn about your age. I have also a master. Companies don't give a damn about your age. There might be a recruiter or a biased manager to give it to care about your age, but we don't care about them, right? Because it's about opportunities. There are too many opportunities out there. The problem for most of you is you just don't know how to approach those opportunities. I was after what CCM called. Go read the reviews. People coming commenting. So just search CCM on the top. After the CCM call, a lot of you came to me and said, we didn't know how easy it would be to reach out and open up those opportunities for ourselves. We thought we just have to wait. No, you don't. You don't have to wait for the opportunity to come to you. You go after the opportunity and get it. This is what we teach on CCM. We teach you exactly how to be bold, and I do it live in front of students. I call different people, cold call, random call, and they see how I hold the conversation, how questions, what kind of questions I ask, right? So that's that. Yeah, yeah, definitely remove the dates from your studies in Iran because it's 20 years ago. Who cares about that? You don't even this questioning. You don't know how to write a resume. From what I hear, resume is not just another template that you found on Google that you put your studies there and I know what you're doing. You put the studies here and then you put it from here to here there, and then on top of that you put another thing from. No, this is not how we write resume. You need to learn proper resume writing. Come join Mastermind. Mina. Okay, this is not a question. This is some sort of answer to somebody else. Shima says, if I have a chance for second question, yet yes, you do. When reaching out to someone for the first time, is it better to send a direct message, mail, or a connection request with notes? Email, you have limited email, so you don't have a lot of email to use. That's why we don't recommend it. You just have 15 email probably. So you don't get anywhere. And emails, I always talk about in my courses, emails are when you send an email, it says email. So it sounds like an ad. It sounds like an advertising. A lot of people avoid emails. Okay, don't send emails. Always send a connection request with a note, but that is only the opener. It just give you the opportunity to connect with the person so you can send a message. We have discussed that in the, I believe, day 2 of the challenge. Go watch day 2 of the challenge, where I teach you the first message is just the opener, but the second message and the third message, those are the way that you build your relationship. Okay. So the first, does sending a connection request first reduce the chance of getting a, that is how you do it, guys. Come on. Like if you don't send the connection request, you cannot you cannot message them. This is how, if you don't know how LinkedIn works, this is how LinkedIn works. If you send a request, they don't accept you, you cannot send a message. The only reason we send a connection is to get accepted to their circle so we can start messaging them. Before that, nothing happens. So that's why we send a connection. And direct message more effective for getting notice and getting a response. There's no direct message. The only direct message is email, which I don't recommend to use. That's too advertising. We don't want that. Okay. And if the person is busy, we teach you how to handle this. This is a skill. This is not something you can learn overnight. This isn't a skill on how to get people's attention. You need to learn a smart networking. Search about a smart networking in the community. And guess what? You guys get to practice these things live in the community. You can do a smart networking here, right? A lot of people, I have 4,000 members. A lot of people do smart networking with me because I don't have time to talk to 4,000 people, but I do with those who do smart networking. So make sure this is the same thing, the same things you learn here, is the same thing you apply on LinkedIn. If you learn smart networking the proper way, you can connect to people no matter what. Okay? Mohsen, how can we find recruiters on LinkedIn in our field? Is that a question, Mohsen? You just use advanced search tools. On top of LinkedIn, there's an advanced search tool. You use that, and then you can add filters. You can add your field. You can add recruiters. You can, yeah. Like, oh, so he says you shouldn't edit. You should repost your questions because it doesn't refresh live unless I refresh it. So please copy your question and paste it at the bottom again. Solar says, hi Alex, thanks for the meeting. My current situation is I'm going to have an interview next week. Therefore, my question is I have seen that you emphasize to have a personal story to talk about yourself question. Can you please talk more about this question? Yeah. So when I always say, especially in the interview identity shift, guys, we have a 3 days course on interview, specifically what to say, what to avoid to say, what not to say, and then weekly practice that comes with it. But to answer your question in short, your resume is what your resume tells, your story sells. Okay, remember that your resume tells, your story sells. So you don't show up to an interview talking about the bullet point on your resume. This is the most absurd way of doing interview, and that's why a lot of people get rejected. Your resume is just an opener and a way to get to that interview from the system that we teach you. It's not just your resume, it's a lot of things. But once you got that interview, they use the resume as a gateway to your brain, to your heart, to your story. When you show up to the resume, you need to first get personal and talk about who Solar is before jumping into your resume. So you need to be able to connect with those recruiters or managers on a personal level before getting into the technical and your experiences. And that personality comes from the story that you have built beforehand. And I always tell people, build your story before going to interviews, practice it so many times that it becomes so natural that you cannot say anything else. And the way it becomes natural is by practicing, practicing, practicing. Either you can practice it in front of the mirror, or you can practice it with a friend, or you can practice it in our weekly calls and mastermind. This is how people practice. There's only these ways, but you have to practice it because you need to go there and first of all create your story. Who is Salar? Where he's coming from? Why he's going to this job? What is his ambition? What are his passions? How he's seeing himself in the job? So if you, again, going back to the concept I teach you, if you apply to the right job, it becomes more natural for you to talk about why are you a good fit. Whereas a lot of you just desperately apply to anything randomly you see out there. That's why you get stuck, because you go to multiple interviews and all these interviews are about different things. You cannot have a story there. You cannot sell your personal Solar story there. So once you have, these are all connected. Your resume is connected to your story. Your story is connected to your ambition and passion and experiences and how you will fit to a new culture, a new environment. So how can you create that talk to yourself about a question is that you need to understand the story, and this, the more you practice it, the better you know your story. And another factor that will help you understand your story is looking at other people's story, other members' story. Go watch wins. Go watch to the classroom. Go watch members win. They, a lot of cases, people have talked about their own story, how they came up with the person's story, right? So it requires a lot of practice. Sean, Sean or Sen. Hi, marketing lifestyle, life cycle strategies here. I ran my own business in Iran for about 10 years. Then I moved to London and completed my master. After that, I worked at Diageo for about a year, which was a great experience in many ways. Then I moved to Vancouver. Despite having relevant education experience on our resume, it's almost 2 years now. I've been trying different approach. It's good because you also commented above. If you've been stuck 2 years, go watch in the members win. Watch Golara interview. She also was stuck for 2 years, or maybe watch Ramin's interview. Ramin also was stuck for Most of people, actually, most of people have been stuck for a long time before they came across my system. So I've submitted more than 1,300 application. This is your first problem. You don't submit application just like that. By either don't get interviews, or where do you apply these applications? Probably Indeed or job search communities, right? LinkedIn. Oh, 1,300 on LinkedIn. Did you follow up? Did you follow up on those? Yeah. But, again, when you look at your system comes from, okay, 20% follow up is not enough. You have to do more follow up. Learn about CCM, search CCM in the community. CCM is a great way to teach you about follow up. So when you have a problem, guys, most of you in the job search, there are different areas you need to look at. The way you apply, where you apply, what is your network, who is in your network, how many people have you talked before you apply? Because this is the most important one. You don't apply and then sound desperate. You sound confident, then you apply. And your resume, your story, all of these pieces, how you speak, how you talk, how you present yourself, right? So these are all the little things that will connect, and we don't do masses. Like you talk about 1,300 application, we prefer to do 300 targeted application to targeted roles, and that it will yield a lot better result than 1,300 randomly, because 1,300 is a lot. Okay. I need to start. That's one strategy. Yes, there are many strategies. One of them is you start reaching out before even the job is out there. And I always tell people that if you want to be great networker, guys, you build your network before you need it. This is the ultimate. If I want to give you the ultimate secret in networking, you build your network before you need it. If you start building your network after you need it, people will know, people realize that you're just there for your own advantage. And in networking, I always say, you give first. You don't ask first. A lot of people come here, they keep asking, as they never get a job. I'm giving you so many value for free. I give you an app. I run ads to you. I bring you here for free. I spend money to have you here. I teach you for free. You it's it's almost no-brainer for people to stay with me for the rest of their careers because they have trust in me. I teach you everything for free. I bring you here. I treat you well. I spend time for you. I appreciate you guys. I motivate you guys. Why? Because I'm doing the networking the right way. I'm giving before asking, and probably never ask. People just come to me to ask for more. That's why we have mastermind for those people who want more of my time, more of my insight, and more coaching. But in networking, you always give first. So if you wanted to build a network after you need it, I'll give you a very simple example because most of you are immigrant and Imagine tomorrow you get invited. Uh, you there is a conference in let's say New York, okay? And you get your ticket to go to New York. You know a bunch of people in New York that you want to probably go and have dinner with. You start messaging them, hey, I'm coming to New York for this conference. Would you be available? Most of them probably have other plans, or it will sound, and if you haven't talked to them for a big while, they're like, who's this guy? After a while, he just want to come to New York and remember, and he doesn't know your business. Imagine you've been talking with these people, sending messages every month or every new year, you send the greetings without even knowing that you're going to New York. And now the New York thing happens, you message them. How different they will look at you. Say, oh my God, this guy been nice to me. He's been sending me greetings on every new year. And now he's coming to New York. Let's meet up. He's a great guy. He's been nice to me. That's how people give people attention, right? So same thing. If you go apply to 113, 1,300 applications and then want to build that network, good luck building that network, because people know you're desperate. People know you only care about your own interest. This is the worst. I believe, not you, but in general, this is the worst characteristic that nobody learned at school. Nobody learned at the broken Iranian culture back home. Everybody either have to have a ashna or network, or if they don't have, they don't know how to make it. Okay. And if you think the managers don't have enough time to spend time for a stranger, you probably uh, don't have the. Yes, the your assumptions could be right, but this is not how way we approach it. You say managers don't have time to spend for a stranger because you are a stranger. You don't know how to not to be a stranger. The system that we build together takes you from an underdog to a person people like to connect with. You get the idea? So as long as you don't know how to network, you always stay a stranger. And as long as you stay a stranger, nobody spends time for you. Even the lowest people in the company don't spend time for you, let alone managers. But if you learn the proper way of networking, you become interesting person. You become an interesting individual. And guess what? Managers always looking out for interesting people because there are opportunities. Not just maybe not all of them are growing their department, but there's always managers that they lose people because of change jobs. There are always people in the jobs that they leave their jobs. There are always people that quit, right? So managers are on the lookout, but you just have to be interesting. And the way to be interesting is that, first of all, you need to get rid of a lot of assumptions that you have, as I see, which is most of them are wrong. Second, once you learn, once you get rid of these assumptions, you can start building a foundation of becoming a person, of becoming a brand that more managers would say. I don't say all of the manager will take time to talk to you. No, it's a number game. But you will find your own crowd. That's how we put it. Like we're advertising to so many people. Not everybody joins our community, although it's free, right? But we are getting our own gang. We're getting our own crowd. And it takes time and effort and network. Oh man, you just got to your question. This wasn't a question? Okay, does the program work better for technical or does it apply for other fields? You mean the mastermind? It works for any field as long as it's advertised on LinkedIn. Two, if you change the structure of the resume, can it cause ATS? I teach you on ATS. Actually, you learn a lot in the free community. We have a course, HR Secret. You can take that, or you can join the mastermind to learn the entire program. We don't really focus on ATS because any resume almost pass ATS. I'll take you to the background of ATS. I'll show you the background. It's also in the HR Secret. You can watch it. But yeah, like resume doesn't matter. It matters, but it's 20%. 80% is your networking. How does the networking finding the hiring manager part work? If you explain the process briefly. Yeah, I've explained it through 16 days of 2 hours. Four, is this program actually completely free or is there a fee involved? No, the mastermind is not free. It's an investment. You're getting 100K plus jobs. Obviously, you're investing a percentage of it. But we have payment plans available. Uh, so you can stay in the free community. Yes, a lot of people get results in the free community. So you're welcome to explore on your own. You're here. Just go to Classroom, go to Wins, and watch it around. With this approach, do you mainly target big companies or does it works for any companies because it's pure networking? Ozan, thank you for sharing so many new things with us. I really appreciate it. My current situation, looking for a new position. Currently, I'm in 3 interviews with different industry and academic group. My question is related to technical interviews. How much should our skill match what the company require users does? Okay, so your question is how much should uh, I usually tell people, Ozar, if your skill set match 60% of the job, you can apply. Because the 40% could be template, could be uh, outdated, because a lot of recruiters use templates. Could be template, could be outdated, or could be learned at the job. As soon as you meet the the basics 60%, and you never know until you attend the interview or talk to a recruiter. Not recruiters, usually managers know about that. So as long as you meet 60%, I would go for it, and then the rest, the 40%, can happen at the job. But these insiders always like try to get to the interview with the 60%, and they will give you interview with the 60%. Not a problem. Okay, Raji here. I have a PhD, but some job description require MS or BS. I can tailor my resume to match. No. So I've talked about it in the last session. Somebody asked. So if you have a PhD and the job requires bachelor, don't even apply. It's not a good fit. Even if you go there, they pay you lower than what you are, and you don't become happy. You have to change the job after. So don't even go for the bachelors, guys. With the I even say even if you have a master, you don't have to go for bachelor because those are the lower level jobs, the lowest paid, not level but lower paid job. So if you have a PhD, go for the jobs with at least masters or PhD. So minimum masters, you're accepted as a PhD. It's okay, but if it's purely BSc, you will end up working with a bunch of people with a bachelor, and you will find that they're also younger, and it's not a fit. So don't apply. That's why I always say there is no overqualification. There is wrong targeting. There is wrong way of applying to the wrong matching. That's all I say. It's a wrong match. So we don't change resume, guys, every time. Don't change your resume every time. No, it's wrong. If you change your resume every time, if you change your LinkedIn every time, you're supposed to connect with hundreds of recruiters. You cannot change your LinkedIn or resume every time. There is a system to that. You need maximum 3 resumes, and they have to be related. And we teach you how to do that with ChatGPT. We have a process for this. It takes you probably 7 days following the system to get to where you want to be. It's not easy. Like if you still change your resume for every job description, if you still think that you shouldn't apply with a PhD and you should drop your PhD, definitely you need to change your mindset. Okay? PhD is leverage. PhD is advantage if you know how to use it. And guess what? A lot of people think about their worth $100,000 job. But guess what? Sometimes you realize you're worth $150,000 job, and then you go get it. A lot of people. My first client, she was making $60,000 job in a toxic environment. She realized she's worth 110. After 1 week, she got $110,000 job, like 50,000, almost double her salary in a good company versus 60K, which nothing in a toxic environment. So first mindset, guys, I will help you understand your value first. If you don't know your value, the whole game is useless. Don't even apply if you don't know your value, because you end up working. It's not different than working a general job. If you're supposed to make 60K, it's almost a general job. Like, don't even go there with a PhD. Okay, you have a PhD for a reason, and we'll help you find that out. PhD, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I didn't learn much in PhD." I know, but you need to use that branding. Even if you didn't learn anything in your PhD, the titles, the projects, those are all the things that we use to help with your brand. Hamed. Oh, too many questions, guys, today. So, and then I will take two more, Hamed and then Mohsen, and then next week. Ahmed, my current situation is I've been working in research roles and universities for about 7 years after my PhD. My desired situation, I want to transition to industry and show that I can work effectively in a business. Ahmed, go to members within classroom, watch Sepide story. Sepide was like you. She wanted to make a transition to industry from academia. So therefore, my question is, in interviews, many questions about working with the stakeholders or customers. I don't have direct experience in this area. How can I present my background in a strong way and show that I have this skill? That's right. When you come from research, you need to tailor your experience and your story again in the way that you are capable of on doing the job. So what we usually do, and again, this is something that you learn throughout days and live feedback, You have to do this, get feedback, do this, get feedback until you have the firm story to tell. But to give you a quick answer, uh, everything that you learn during your research years, we have to look at a new lens, and that new lens is the project management side of things. Because imagine you did a research, and that research was done in 6 months, and that research had different factors and moving parts that needed somebody to get the team together and get it done, right? So you can translate that in an actual experience that is also good for industry. So depending on where your industry, the industry you're going into, and the type of job description that you're applying to, you again, the way that we build a story, guys, it's not like that we wake up one day and say, "This is my story." No, you collect information from the market and see where can you go, and to understand where you can you go, you understand, okay, how I'm gonna match the things that is in the market with my past experiences and my interest. And now this is where ChatGPT comes. We learn in the ChatGPT, we learn how to feed this information to ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT becomes our 24/7 live coach, and now we start feeding data every day with right questioning, and we give you a 30-page um, knowledge base that you can feed to your ChatGPT. And now you will start understanding your world even better, because a lot of people are forgetful. A lot of friends and families and coaches are forgetful. You cannot find a coach out there that knows your story and tells you where to go based on your data other than ChatGPT. It's only ChatGPT that can do that level of analysis for you. And if you're stuck, like most of people who come from research and want to go to industry, it takes sophisticated data point from what is available in the industry. Who am I? Where am I gonna go? Where is my past? And these are the information actually. So in one of the tasks, you need to sit down, talk to AI about the 20 years of experience, just boldly and very transparent, because you don't sound shy in front of AI. You can tell everything. And this is how we put the data points together to create a story for Hamid, and we know, and Hamid knows. A lot of you don't know actually your story. You've been just doing the same thing for many years without knowing your story, and that's totally fine. You guys need to understand that we as human, we we probably don't know our capabilities until we discover them. And my process is discovery of our capabilities. This is real. People are discovering themselves here. Okay, Mohsen, this is the last question. I have another meeting to attend in 2 minutes, so I have to wrap it up. And guys, if you want to join the CCM, because I talked about it, CCM right now is in my new mastermind program, and you need to join the mastermind, the 16 days program that we offer, and you need to be eligible. So if you want, go to alexcoaching.org/book and read the questions. If you're not eligible, don't apply. Don't book a call. If you're eligible, book a call. You have to be at least level 2 in this community, and you have to went through the free content, because there's an investment required on the other side. So you can only join mastermind if you're eligible. Mohsen, I'm currently working IT field, but I'm not satisfied with my salary position. I've been in the IT field for 15 years, and 1 year in Canada as an IT support specialist. I'm gonna find recruiters in my on LinkedIn in my field. Yes, again, Mohsen, there are advanced tools on LinkedIn that you can search based on the industry, the location, the target. So this is to answer the question, how to find a recruiter. But how to find the right recruiters, how to find the right jobs, how to find the right positioning, IT support specialist doesn't earn you enough salary that you want after 15 years old. So you probably have to change the positioning too. We teach you that in the mastermind. So thank you guys. I have to go to reach another meeting. It was a great session. If you missed it, I will post the recording so you can watch in the recording. But it was great. See you more. Stay active. Try to level up. Try to get more engagement in the platform. Thank you so much. Have a great day and night.